Hello, everyone. I am Andy Anderson. My partner, Ike Allen, and I are the co-owners of Avaya University. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And in this event, as you know, we're talking with some really incredible fellow experts. We're talking with authors, leaders, visionaries, and more who are here to inspire and motivate you to pursue the next level of your dreams. Today, our guest is going to talk about the success principles, how to break through to greater success. Please welcome Jack Canfield. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Andy. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure to get to talk to you. I want to tell everyone a little bit about you, and then we'll dive into some questions. So for those of you who don't know Jack, he is an award-winning speaker and an internationally recognized leader in personal development as well as peak performance strategies. For over 40 years, he has been teaching entrepreneurs, educators, corporate leaders, and people from all walks of life how to create the life they desire. Jack is the originator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and he has taught millions of individuals his modernized formulas for success. And now he certifies trainers to teach his content and his methodology all over the world. Jack is also the author and co-author of more than 150 books now, 66 of which are bestsellers. And in 2014, Success Magazine named him one of the most influential leaders in personal growth and achievement. And there's a million more things I could mention about you and your amazing career, Jack, but I will get started. So let's talk about how we can help our viewers today break free from limitations and create the life they want. How can we get started doing that?
Well, I think first of all, you have to decide what does that life you want look like. And so a lot of people don't take the time to really go inside and ask their, I guess, your inner child, your highest self, however you want to say it. What is it that I really want? What does success look like for me? And so once you've clarified what that is in terms of an ideal life, what I call creating your vision, then the thing is you have to set goals. You have to be very specific. You're going to hear that probably 100 times during this little thing you're putting on. But the problem is most people don't set specific measurable goals, then they're not believable to themselves. So it has to be believable as well. And I think the big issue that people have is they're stuck with a lot of limiting beliefs that they're not even aware they have. They're unconscious limiting beliefs. And so, I do work with hundreds of thousands of people around the world. I've done techniques to help people get clear about their limiting beliefs for 3,000 Herbalife distributors in a 2-day training in India where they only spoke Tamil. It still works. And the reality is that somewhere between the age of 3 and 8, we made a bunch of decisions when we had a traumatic experience of being rejected or shamed, put down, scared. Maybe a dog barked at us, now I think all dogs are, bad because they licked our face when we were in a stroller when we were 1.5, whatever. But the point is that these limiting beliefs are mostly unconscious. We made the decision and then we forgot we made the decision. And then we wonder why it is we're not living the life we want to live. I'll give you an example of a client I have. So she's a world-class, could be, athlete. All of her times in training would put her in that status. But when I started working with her, she found that when she would be younger, like in the age around 9, 10, she would win all these events and she would come home with ribbons and trophies and all that. And then her mother would hide them. And she would say to her mom, why do you hide my trophies and stuff? And she said, well, whenever you bring them home, it makes your brother feel bad. And so she made a decision that when I win, I hurt people I love. And so now, even though she's not conscious of that underwriting her, there's this part of her that doesn't want to win for fear that it's going to hurt someone she cares about. And when we were able to surface that and release that, then what happened is she started winning and her times came down in her competitions, and she may very well be in the next Olympics. So the idea is that we have these blocks, things we know, some of the things we think we're not smart enough, we're not educated enough, we're not rich enough, we don't have enough friends to do the downline in a multi-level marketing company, whatever. But a lot of those fears and beliefs are unconscious. So I really think people have to make a commitment. Number one, I want to be successful. This is what success looks like. And now I'm going to be committed to do whatever it takes. And that's a big commitment, to do whatever it takes to be in a personal growth path, to remove these blocks, to learn the skills I need, because there are certain skills of success, which we can talk about, that go beyond just your skills as a therapist or a writer or a salesperson or whatever. But, I call them mindset skills, and then be willing to do the work. I think a lot of people are just afraid to do the work or unwilling to do the work because they're afraid of what's going to show up, afraid they're going to get conned by people putting on conferences like this. So we're going to, they're going to waste their money and not get the value they want. So I think there's a lot of what I would say, just a real major decision that this is what I want. And then to look at, a lot of people have the belief, I'm not blank enough. If you look at all the core things that stop people, it's I'm not blank enough. And then you can fill in the blank. For some, it's I'm not smart enough, I'm not old enough, I'm too young, I'm too tall, I'm too small, I'm too big, whatever it is. And so those have to be addressed. And then I think, and we can we'll unpack this as we go through this, but basically you've got to then commit to the goals, got to believe it's possible. You have to then create affirmations and visualizations to go through that, the law of attraction stuff. You have to develop a support team, whether it's an accountability partner, a mentor, a coach. And then you have to have a mastermind group, I believe. That's been one of my great things. You got to learn to meditate so you can access your intuition. And you have to learn how to ask for feedback and not get defensive when people give you feedback. And then you have to learn how to persevere. And then there are a lot of other nuanced things in there, like it's good to read every day and exercise and eat well, and we could go down the road. But most people are stuck in a state of mediocrity because they haven't made the commitment to be great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. That was an amazing story. And so side note question on your
Sure.
client, your athlete client. So you mentioned that you helped her obviously get clear about that limiting belief that she had around hurting the ones she loves by winning. And then you said you helped her release it. So what is the actual, how does one release
Sure.
it? What's that process like?
Well, the process I use is one that I've